Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that pulls at the heartstrings and reminds us that love often finds us in the most unexpected places. This is the powerful and emotional tale of a woman who escaped a forced wedding, only to discover something far greater in a forgotten, deserted barn. Her journey is one of fear, defiance, resilience, and eventually, peace. A life she never imagined was waiting for her beyond the walls of a broken tradition. Let's take a closer look at this story's layers and why it has touched so many hearts. At first glance, the setting gives everything away. A wide, open countryside stretches under a sky that seems too big for one soul to carry her pain alone. The exterior of this tale is rugged and raw. The barn, isolated and barely standing, symbolizes abandonment, but soon becomes a space of healing and growth. The surrounding fields, untouched and silent, provide the perfect contrast to the chaos she left behind. The air itself feels thick with anticipation, as though something important is about to unfold. Dust dances in the wind, shadows shift with the sun, and amid all that stillness, her freedom begins to bloom. Inside, the barn's interior is humble and quiet. Wooden beams creak gently in the wind. The air smells of hay, time, and forgotten memories. It's a simple place, but within its walls, she begins to breathe again. The corners are filled with old tools and traces of someone else's life, a life that slowly begins to intertwine with her own. This isn't just a place to hide. It becomes a sanctuary, a space to rediscover who she is when she's no longer running. The performance of this story lies in how her transformation unfolds. In the beginning, she is broken, haunted by the chains of a marriage forced upon her. Every step she takes away from that altar is filled with pain and uncertainty. But the moment she enters the barn, there is a subtle shift. It starts with survival. She lights a fire, finds water, makes a bed of hay. Then, piece by piece, she regains her spirit. The arrival of the man, gentle, quiet, and kind, is not the center of her healing, but rather the mirror that reflects how far she's come. Their relationship doesn't begin with grand gestures, but with mutual respect and shared silence. And that is where the real emotion builds. His patience, her guarded heart, the space between them slowly shrinking, all of it unfolds with a tenderness that feels more powerful than words. Safety is a recurring theme. Not just physical safety, but emotional sanctuary. She is no longer under watch, no longer caged by fear of judgment or tradition. In the barn, she learns what it means to be safe in her own skin. His presence only strengthens that. He never forces, never questions her past, only offers understanding. The barn, with all its weathered walls and broken windows, somehow becomes more secure than any palace could ever be. It shelters not just her body, but her spirit. That's where the heart of the story truly lives, in the creation of a safe space not built by hands, but by trust. What makes this story truly unique is its quiet strength. The barn isn't a dramatic castle, and the man isn't a savior riding in on a white horse. They are both just survivors of their own pasts, finding something soft in a hard world. There are no grand declarations, just small, meaningful moments that speak louder than speeches. She teaches him vulnerability, and he gives her the freedom to choose her own pace. The relationship that forms between them is not rushed, it grows like ivy on old wood, slow and steady, but strong enough to hold. That kind of storytelling isn't often seen. It's real. It's raw. And that's exactly why it stands out. If we think in terms of value, this story delivers something priceless: hope. It speaks to anyone who has ever felt trapped, unheard, or unwanted. The price of escape is steep, she loses everything she knew. But what she gains is her self-worth, and a love that never tried to cage her. In a world where so many still feel tied down by societal expectations and outdated norms, her story is a breath of fresh air. It's not just about romance. It's about reclaiming your narrative, choosing your own ending, and finding companionship that respects your journey. In the end, what makes this story unforgettable is not the escape, but the peace she finds after. She could have kept running, but instead, she paused in a place where no one else was watching, and allowed herself to heal. That choice, to rest, to rebuild, to trust again, is the quiet revolution. The deserted barn becomes the setting for a love story not just between two people, but between a woman and the life she finally chooses for herself. That's the kind of story that stays with you long after the video ends. So if you're someone who believes that love is found in the most unlikely places, and that courage doesn't always roar, sometimes it whispers from behind old barn doors, then this is a story you won't want to miss. Because sometimes, running away is how you find your way home.